Well, good morning from a beautiful place called Lake Wales, Florida. This is almost in the central part of Florida. Beautiful place called the crown jewel of the ridge. Now stay with me, I'm going to explain what that ridge means. And we're going to explore this beautiful town. It is absolutely incredible. One of the best cities I think I've been to so far. It is absolutely incredible looking. We're going to take a look at some really neat stuff today. I'm going to show you the Bok Towers, famous Bok Towers, and that's not it, by the way. We're going to take a look at an old religious shrine that has brought people from all over the world to visit the shrine. The remnants still remain. A lot of it has been torn down or destroyed over time, but there's just so much to see, so much to do. So let's jump into it and let's go explore Lake Wales. Now we're walking into the historic district of Lake Wales, and this has got to be one of the coolest little cities I've been to so far. It's just beautiful. It's of course been remodeled and been refurbished, but they still kept the old town view and vibe. These buildings are something that you wouldn't normally see in Florida. They're absolutely just, in my opinion, stunning to look at. I feel like I've been transformed or transported to a whole nother location. And they've done such a great job with this little historic district. So Lake Wales was founded in 1911 and it became a city in 1925. Sits atop of a little thing called the ridge that I'm going to explain very soon here. But it will make sense when I talk about the ridge on how so much of the topography is different. If you've seen the other videos in the past, I've talked about topography and how land masses are different in the central part of the state. But let's just capture this beautiful little town or city. I don't know, to me it almost looks like a movie set. I give them props. They really did a nice job with this place. So inviting. I bet this has got some really great vibes in the evening on a Friday night. So let me explain the ridge part. This is considered the crown jewel of the ridge, and it's because if you saw the other video I did on Brooksville, it was 276 feet above sea level. And this is actually 295 feet above sea level. Now, how that was created was 3 to 4 million years ago. When Florida was underwater, this was just a sandy ridge. This is about 100 miles, runs north and south through the central part of Florida. And it created this sandy little island. It was the only part that really wasn't covered. And that still remains today, this unique sugary sand that has almost its own habitat of animals, plants, insects, everything. And it created this sea level. So 3 to 4 million years ago, it looked like a little island and everything else was completely underwater. And that's how we have this beautiful little area, and this is the central part of it. And again, it runs all the way north and south, about 50 miles north of where I'm at and 50 miles south. Pretty neat little fact that I think a lot of people probably don't realize. Now I realize that it's not a big deal when you come from other areas, but when you Of course, there's a lot of mountainous areas, but for Florida, it's pretty neat. That's a neat little fact, and it's a beautiful little terrain for Florida when most of the area is so flat. Look at these beautiful little ice cream stores, boutiques, antique store. Let's go see if that's open. I don't know if it is. Okay, so this is called the Vintage Market. Let's go check it out. Now it looks like if you like antiques, this would be the place to come. All right, so I was just chatting with the owner of the store, and I didn't want to film a lot inside the store, but he has some really great stuff. He goes into these estate sales, or people will contact him and say, hey, my family members have passed away, or I've just inherited a home with a ton of stuff in it. I don't know what to do with it. And he goes in and brings a lot of it to his store. I've never known how that process worked. I've been into a ton of antique stores, again, looking for cookware, cast irons, those kind of things, unique stuff. And I never knew how the process, where they got the stuff from. So it's pretty neat knowing that. So this is the Wales-built hotel, the tallest building in Lake Wales, built in 1925. This was a big deal here back in the day. Beautiful place, closed in 1995. One of those buildings that has stood the test of time. It's another little angle of the Wales-built hotel. Looks like there's some broken windows here. Maybe we can. I think you could just imagine the beauty of this hotel in 1925. This must have been incredible for such a small town. So there's 16 historic buildings in downtown historic district of Lake Wales. And it's really just a small little loop. You go down one side and come up another, both one-way streets. But it is such a quaint, cool little place. Little interior design store. This little florist. Here's the back side of one of those buildings. You can certainly tell this is one of those towns where everybody knows everybody. Probably a lot of people in your business, but it's a cool little town. It's got a great little vibe to it. Today's a nice breezy day. Hopefully my mic is not blowing. I put the dead cat on here so that it would block some of the wind. Cool little enclave here, going through some shops. Let's take a look at this. Very neat. Good little place to get out from the heat. I bet this is really fun on the weekends. That looks like it actually is a real stairwell. Like I said, I feel like I'm in a movie set, but this is all real stuff. This is just a neat, historic area. I was just talking to a gentleman, a resident, didn't want to be on video, but he was saying he actually lives in the apartments above these buildings. And he came from another city and he just loves this town, loves everything about this place. So this popped me back over onto the main street we started on. There's a little cafe over here. I'm gonna grab some coffee, see if we can talk to someone. The Ranch Coffee House. The gentleman was telling me. Yes, sir. Do you live here local? You live here?
Yeah.
Tell me about Lake Wales, man, if you don't mind.
Have you been to Bok Towers?
Not yet.
Okay, Bok Towers Gardens.
Okay.
Look that up on Google. It's close to here. One of the most beautiful places in Florida. There's a huge tower that a guy built for his wife when she died. That's there on top of the tallest hill in Florida. That's called Iron Mountain.
Oh, okay. That's where Iron Mountain is. That's where I want to get to.
At the top of that hill is Bok Towers. You can't miss it. You'll see it for miles when you're coming up on it. If you've never been to River Ranch, Westgate Resorts it's kind of down 60 a little more. It's towards like Avon Park, Sebring area.
Okay.
But it's still in Lake Wales. It's at the edge of it. Westgate Resort, beautiful. You can see world-class rodeos there.
What do you think of living here? Do you enjoy it? Is Lake Wales a nice place?
I like it here, man, but I'm not. So the officials here are kind of tense on the lower class population.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, man, Lake Wales.
Nice vibe.
It's a good vibe, man. It's good. It's just expensive.
Cool, man. Nice meeting you, brother.
I'll check your channel out.
All right, same here.
Have a good afternoon.
You'll be on it.
I'm just out here door dashing, man.
Oh, nice.
80 hours a week in door dash.
Good for you. Be well, man. Take care.
Check out Bok Towers, man. You'll love it.
Volleyball league, and then we just need like spots to play if like we weren't able to play.
Got myself a nice little cold brew. I couldn't film much inside the store. She had music on. It actually will affect the videos with uncopyrighted music or copyrighted music that's not authorized on a channel. So unfortunately, I couldn't film inside, but cool little store. Great little shopping area while you drink your coffee, have a Danish pastry. This is just such a nice feeling in this town. I can't express the peacefulness of being here. It's beautiful. So let's talk population here. As of the most current census, town has roughly 16,300 residents. The diversity of the community is 55% white, 19% black, and 31% Latin or Hispanic. Now, as you can see, one of the big industries here was citrus. The other was turpentine from the pine trees. So making our way up to the Bok Tower, as you can see in the distance, we are winding through pine tree fields and citrus fields. Not much citrus on the trees. Looks like they've seen their better days, but this is a very, very unique place, very pretty. This is the entrance to Bok Towers. Very, very pretty. Typical old Florida. You have the oak trees, the native palmetto bushes, sable palms, everything. It's just a stunning garden. Give you a little tour here. We have a beautiful day here. There's been a tropical low over the state, it moved across the state into the Gulf of America yesterday or last night. So we have finally gotten a day without some rain, but it's a nice day today, believe it or not, for July. Beautiful gardens here. This is the Welcome Center. Wow. Nice. So the gardens were founded in 1925. Bok Tower was built by a Dutch immigrant, Edward Bok. But the gardens were established just before the tower. One of the famous sayings that Edward Bok would always say would be, "Give the world the best you have, and the best will come back to you." Another saying that he would often say that I think was really cool was, no matter where you are in the world, make the world a better place because you lived in it. I think that's really cool and has a nice meaning behind it. Behind me is the beautiful Bok Tower. This is what is known as a carillon. It's a musical tower. It has 60 bells, 60 tons of bells, each one weighing a ton. A Bok Tower was originated in the low grounds in the Netherlands. In 1480 was the first carillon tower built. These were brought here, or this tower was erected and brought by the Dutch immigrant Edward Bok. This one has, like I said, 60 bells that are dead hung, and it plays throughout the day, every day. It's absolutely gorgeous. This tower is built with marble from Georgia and coquina stone. Let's go take a look. Well, unfortunately, what they're doing is sucking out the moat that surrounds Bok Tower. The moat hasn't been cleaned or sucked out for 20 or 30 years. Usually has beautiful koi. The koi have been relocated so that they survive. And I can only imagine they're finding some pretty cool stuff in here. So Bok Towers is erected of coquina and pink marble. The marble comes from Georgia. I'm not sure where the coquina is from, but it's incredible. You can never really go inside the tower. Their first floor, I think, is a study or archives. The second floor is something else. I'm not sure, but it's 205 feet tall. Historic landmark. Beautiful moat that surrounds it. Edward Bok is buried here on site. I'm not sure if we can find his burial place or not, or if it's not disclosed. But let me show you the view from here. Absolutely stunning. One of the most incredible views you'll get in Florida. I'm not sure if the camera does it justice. Oftentimes when you see things on video, you can't really grasp the scale or the magnitude of the video or of the landscape we're shooting, but this is absolutely stunning. This is considered Iron Mountain, 295 feet above sea level. As I was saying, for a point of reference, Miami is roughly 6 to 10 feet above sea level. So this is quite a ways up. Part of the Florida Ridge, also known as the Lake Wales Ridge. As you can hear, the carillons are going off. It is exactly 12 noon. And it's a beautiful chime. I can only imagine hearing that on a regular basis because this apparently carries throughout the whole city. You can hear the carillons being played on a regular basis. But I want to show you a retreat called El Retiro. In Spanish, that means retreat. This is a 12,000 square foot Mediterranean retreat built for a gentleman in 1920s, 25, 28, somewhere around there. He was an executive, started out working for Bethlehem Steel, and this was his getaway for just a couple weeks out of the year for him and his family. It's 12,000 square feet, Mediterranean style retreat. The Bok Towers Foundation purchased the retreat, refurbished it, and made it a part of the property. It's a beautiful, another beautiful place over here, but it's really just a beautiful location. If you're ever in the area, I totally recommend checking this place out. So a little advice, if you come here, make sure you try to come on a weekday. It's gonna be much better for you, less people. Weekends are quite crowded, full of people coming and just sitting, roaming around the trails. You're gonna have the place much more to yourself on a weekday. The other thing is think about maybe a bug repellent. We've had a lot of rain in the past couple weeks, and honestly, the mosquitoes could carry me away here. They're huge. One's landing on me right now. But other than that, small trade-off for the beauty of an incredible gardens and beautiful place to see. In 1920, a French Canadian had a son who was considered terminally ill. He was suffering from ailments mainly due to unknown causes. His father, this French Canadian, decided to come down to Florida to a balmier climate to see if that would help. While his son was here with him, swimming in the lake behind me known as St. Anne's Lake, his son started to recover, rapidly changing and getting better with time. This was thought to be a sign from God, a miraculous healing. So they started to have pilgrimages from many of the French Canadians down here. They erected a church, which is no longer here, but the stairwell is still here. The church burned down. They erected another church, and that was desanctified in the 60s. But the church and the pilgrimages were still going on. This was something that was erected. It had a statue of Jesus on it at one point. But there's also a pretty neat little thing here, a grotto, where a lot of people still come and pray to this day. This is considered a historic remnant of the Catholic religion. French Canadians were coming from everywhere, all over the world people were coming. They still held many Easter events and other events here. This is the lake that he was swimming in that was thought to be a lake of healing powers. But let's go take a look at this grotto. There's some interesting remnants still remaining that are, I think, pretty neat, and it's pretty historic in Florida standards or US standards when this was done in the 1920s. This is incredible though, it's still here, right in somebody's backyard. So this erected as a place to worship, I think the fathers, yeah, in memory of Napoleon Pelletier, born in Canada, 1857. He died and was buried here, 1942. Pretty neat. Amazing that it's still here. I'm surprised this moat with all the rain we've had is not full. But believe it or not, people still come here to this day and pray. They feel like there's a certain power, certain memory or blessing to this place. And it's just incredible. This is not the kind of place or kind of thing you see often in Florida. Now, this doesn't compare to a lot of the places around the world, but this has quite the historical significance here. And it is just breathtaking. Again, I don't know if this does it justice being on video, but they've held many services here. Now again, the Catholic Diocese from St. Augustine desanctified this in 1960, but that didn't stop people. This is a beautiful landmark, and it's very hard to find. I got some directions from a local, and it took a little bit. You go through some watermelon fields, you go through little roads, and boom, it just pops up. And there's the founder, 1934, Pelletier. It's my understanding that this is quite the significant ruins for religious ruins in the state of Florida or the Southeast. I know there's a strong Baptist and other religions, but this was home to hundreds, if not thousands, of French speaking Catholics every year making that winter pilgrimage. An incredible little historical fact that is often overlooked and many people have no clue of or have ever heard of. Now here is another bit of the remnants where they would have statues that are no longer standing. But what a cool little bridge. It's exactly what he told me to find, a little bridge, pass over. But what a cool little thing. St. Anne's Lake. Again, for Florida's historic standards, something that was built 1920s, lasted a long time. I'm sure many more years to come. It's actually become quite the prized little secret of the local residents. Well guys, I'm gonna end today's video right here. I appreciate you watching as always, and do me a small favor, hit that thumbs up. It helps me out tremendously with the algorithm. Until our next adventure, I will see you real soon.